Hi friends, welcome back to Diane's Paradise and I hope all are doing good. After sharing the video of homemade yeast few weeks before in my channel, I'm getting a lot of queries and questions in the comments. So I thought to create a new video where I'll be covering a lot of the common questions I have received from you all. I'm getting requests to share few more recipes with homemade yeast, but I thought first let me share a detailed video on homemade yeast as that is going to be the key ingredient for our recipe. Once we have a healthy and an active yeast, we can create any recipe to perfection. I'm glad to read from the comments that few of you have tried making yeast at home from my previous video, but still few are struggling with the process. This time I'm gonna first show you how to make yeast at home without any failure. The ingredients are gonna be the same I used for my previous video but with an additional step to follow. In case you missed my previous video, here are the ingredients we need. To a glass bowl add half cup of lukewarm water, half tablespoon of honey. I'm using organic honey, you can use any brand of honey available with you. Always try to use a glass bowl or a ceramic bowl to do this process. Once honey and water is mixed, add half cup of wheat flour. This time I'm adding wheat flour, last time I added all-purpose flour. Just to show the difference in the texture of the batter, I'm using wheat flour this time. And mine is multigrain wheat flour from the brand Ashirwad, which is 90% wheat and 10% multigrain. Basically, you can create yeast with any flour available with you. You can see the texture of the batter is thick, unlike the batter we created with all-purpose flour. That's because wheat flour absorbs more liquid. Then goes 1.5 teaspoon of curd or yogurt. Make sure to use fresh curd which is not sour in taste, as that can be one of the reasons for making the flavor of your yeast and the recipe taste sour. Try to mix everything nice and proper without any dry flour or even any lumps of curd or yogurt. Our batter is ready. Clean the sides with a spatula. Once done, cover it with a clean wrap and prick it few times on the top so that aeration happens. Now keep this in a warm place to ferment. Here I am placing it inside a casserole. You can leave it on your kitchen counter or inside kitchen cupboard. Wait until you see bubbles on it. The fermentation time will vary according to the place you stay. Here where I stay, the current temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So don't stick to the exact timing I have given. Wait until you see any changes in the batter. This is a natural process and it will take its own time. So this is how my batter is looking after 16 hours of rest. You can see there are few bubbles on top, but it's not as bubbly as we want for the recipe. So what I'm going to do is give it a quick mix and keep it back into the casserole to ferment for a little longer. Even if you open in between or mix it, nothing will happen to your batter, it will still work. After a total of 24 hours, this is how my batter looks. There are bubbles, but there are also some liquid around. So what I'm going to do here is mix the yeast batter and feed the yeast with half cup of wheat flour and half cup of water. Mix all the ingredients and keep it back to ferment until you see a bubbly, frothy and a lighter batter. Now let me answer the most asked question in my previous video. It was, can we skip curd or can we skip honey? So my answer for both the question is yes. Honey and curd both contains good bacteria which will help our batter to ferment. So in case you are using only honey, then I would suggest you to add a tablespoon more of honey, and in case you are using only curd, then I would suggest you to add 2 teaspoons of sugar and a teaspoon of more curd. Now let's check the batter after feeding. It's been about 5 hours and this is how my batter is looking. Nice, bubbly, frothy and light. This is how we want our yeast for our recipes. In case you are not going to use it right away, then transfer it to a glass bottle or a glass jar and store in the fridge until you need. This will stay as it is bubbly and frothy for the next 4 to 5 days. In case you want to store for longer, then we need to feed the yeast regularly to keep it alive and active. I have included the process of feeding the yeast in my previous video, but still there were few questions I have received which I am going to answer here. This is a jar of yeast straight from the fridge. I last fed this 3 days before. You can see there are few small bubbles on it, but they are not looking as active or as bubbly as we want for the recipe. So what I'm going to do is measure 1 cup of yeast batter from the jar and then going to divide the batter into 2. Here I'm going to show you how our yeast will look when fed with 2 different types of flour. Here I'm taking half cup of yeast batter. The first bowl I'm going to feed with half cup of wheat flour and the second with half cup of all-purpose flour. Then add half cup of water to each. We can feed the yeast with weight measure also. In case the yeast is 25 grams, then you can add 25 grams of water and 25 grams of flour. Always keep one thing in mind, that never feed the yeast less than the measure of the yeast batter. Mix them both and then cover and keep it to ferment. This is how the batter is looking after 2 hours of resting. Here we can see that the batter fed with wheat flour has got big bubbles and also the batter has risen a bit. Whereas the batter fed with all-purpose flour has got a lot of small bubbles and the batter is looking light and frothy. Look at the texture of both the batters, perfect for your recipes. Every time you feed your yeast, try to bring it to this consistency before storing it back to the fridge. In case you're really busy, then you can definitely store it back immediately after feeding, but doing this will ensure that your yeast is still active and alive. Also, try to clean your jar every time you restore the yeast. Also, while closing the lid of the jar, try to keep it a little loose so that the yeast can breathe and aeration happens inside. To know more about how you can use homemade yeast into your recipes, you can refer the recipe video of wheat bread and milk bread which I have shared in my channel. Both the links are available in the description below. Now for those who are asking me what to do with the leftover yeast after feeding. What I am doing is making savory pancakes with them, as I don't feel like discarding them. So here is the recipe what I am following. To 2 cups of yeast batter, I am adding 1 cup of rice flour. You can add any flour available with you of your choice. You can even go with ragi or cornmeal or even oats flour. Then I am going to add half cup of soaked beaten rice. First I am going to grind it in the mixer and then add to the batter. I like to add a teaspoon of sugar while grinding. Combine all the ingredients and then we can keep it for 20 to 30 minutes to rest and start making pancakes after that. Add water if required. This is a simple recipe I am following. If you're finding this video helpful, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I come up with new videos. Now the next question was, what happens to the yeast if kept unattended for a long time? This bottle of yeast was last fed 10 days before and was in the fridge. You can see there is a layer of liquid on top. Some call it as hooch. This is the byproduct of the yeast. That's the indication that your yeast is hungry and it's time to feed. They're harmless. The liquid should be poured off and discarded prior to stirring and feeding the yeast. Now feed the batter with some flour and water and leave it on the counter itself to check if the yeast is still active or not. I have tried and covered most of the questions and queries I received in my previous video here. Hope this will be helpful. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to write in the comments. You can even DM me and follow me in Instagram at Diane's Paradise. See you all soon with more exciting recipe videos using homemade yeast. Till then, take care and bye-bye.